Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final game of the 2026 Winter League. I hope everybody is doing well. I am here, Ziggy, with my colleague Man. How are you doing, Man?
I'm doing good and looking forward to this race. It's definitely going to be an interesting combination of flags.
For sure. So, our four players, so how it works for the finals is that it is a cumulative time that will decide who is going to win tonight. And currently, Diabetes and Aaron have about a roughly 6-minute lead on our other two players, Quinn Patrick and Zatrex. So we're going to have to see, because it's not only the time for this race, but it is also going to be the cumulative time at the end of the race that will decide the final position for our players tonight. Yeah, so, Man, what do you think of the flag set tonight with the big key of this flag set being no numbers?
That's the lead. No numbers, also invisible hero, invisible NPCs, NPC bonk, NPC guillotine, and bonk damage. So those interact pretty well. If an NPC does get in your way, you can kill them. If you need to know your HP, you can bonk to find it out, although it will take a while at 2. It's going to be a challenge that I know quite a few of these racers have experienced before, because you'll need to really, especially in the second part of this, Chaos is basically fully on with very fast experience. So you really need a way to judge how close you are to go. And sometimes that's just going to be, you think you're close to go, so go fight the Dragon Lord and see what happens.
But we're close to go for the race, as our players are now starting. As you can see, well, we can't see much on screen. No hero, no NPCs, but we still have chests with the Death Necklace, the Fighter's Ring, no spell.
So not quite as good as a Fairy Water, but you'll always take any strength increase you can get in Chaos, so the Fighter's Ring will do something. The Death Necklace, I can't imagine will be used that much anytime soon. You can already see some of the flashes for damage going off on Diabeetus' screen and maybe some others.
Diabetes decided to check, is there other chests in here? But there are not, only the chests that were in the treasury.
That's the other thing. Exploration will be a bit weird. Small map should make it a bit easier, but vendor shuffle is on, so you don't know where even keys are going to be. Return will escape from battle, so that's nice, especially in Chaos. But there's also no permatorch, so they won't be seeing even more than numbers at times. Random chest locations, mass overworld locations, and random town entrances. So there's just going to be a whole lot of weirdness, including quite a few new flags. Also, one thing that's important to note, there are no crits this seed. It's just set to 0.
So the problem at the start is finding what exactly is the noodle. And we have 2 potential enemies that could be the noodle. The Rogue Scorpion, potentially, and the Poltergeist. Both were hitting for low amounts. Ooh, there is a town. Selling the Death Necklace. Ooh, that's not a town.
No,
that's right. We don't know whether it's a town or a cave.
That could have been, I saw going to the right, so that actually doesn't really narrow anything down. I think maybe there was a bonk to the right, though, so I don't think it was grave. I don't think it was grave or mountain. I think it was probably tablet. But obviously, hard to tell right now.
But we only need 1 digit of experience for level 2, so it's not too bad for that. Sometimes you can get 2 numbers of experience for level 2, and that can be a problem. Aaron gives it a good attempt on the Rogue Scorpion, but the Rogue Scorpion ends up winning the fight.
Yeah, Chaos can basically just do whatever it wants with experience requirements starting here. I've had very fast Chaos Seeds that I think required more than normal experience, and then normal Chaos Seeds that required less than very fast. But generally you'd expect these early levels with very fast to come relatively quickly. The problem is finding something to get you there.
Exactly, and the noodle cannot have any abilities, so we know that Drakey is not the Drakey using Hurtmore, sending Aaron back. We've seen another location to the south, and I think that's where Aaron wants to go. Because I believe in a situation like this, selling the death necklace is going to be what our players are going to want to do if they can find a town to sell the death necklace in and buy gear.
It's going to be rough because it all really depends on the vendor shuffle and the location itself, but like it's entirely possible the vendor shuffle, say, gives you Radish vendor and some of the less useful tool shops.
Well, you could get 2 weapon shop and not being able to sell your death necklace, and you go, oh, well. Also, no permatorch. So permatorch is pretty recent as a flag that has been used for our players. I know Diabeetus and Aaron are comfortable with navigating all the dungeons in the dark, no problem. I don't know for Quinn and Zatrex.
Yeah,
but it's something that can play in. The problem with Permatorch being off is that also you have to navigate the entire dungeon since it is random chest locations tonight.
Yeah, I honestly, considering how much muscle memory plays a part in navigating blind dungeons, as it were, non-perch dungeons, Permatorch, there we go. I can't imagine anyone's going to try it until they have healing and a fair bit of HP, because like it's just going to be so hard to find your way blind to every single chest location that's possible. Never mind the fact that you can't even look ahead. Like, you really want Radiant especially, but...
Yeah, I think a few of our players are going to start to have a little bit of a panic right now. Aaron has gotten a kill, and I don't think anybody else has gotten a kill so far. And there's another poltergeist. Oh, I thought the poltergeist was going to go down in that attack. The poltergeist is not a noodle.
Yeah, no, I think the Star Ribbon was the noodle based on... I think that's what Aaron killed before. This poltergeist, like, that's the thing, is like, even with the level advantage, I think Aaron could just die to this poltergeist. Although he does manage to get the kill in the red.
Ooh, 3 digits experienced.
That's huge.
Double strength, double everything. Heal and hurt and radiant. That was probably a few levels here.
Yeah, I imagine Aaron will just stick around and try to get more. That said, they are now in the phase of running away, so they might be a bit hard to get to. But that Rogue Scorpion didn't look too bad either.
Not 2 digits and 3 digits of money, which could come in handy. Yeah, I believe our players must have started with fairly low stats, right?
Yeah, it's I mean, it always depends a bit, but when you're struggling this much to get even through, like, I don't think any of them really buzzsawed through the noodle either, so I don't think it could have been too high. I think one of the ironies is there was some contemplation about utilizing the... oh, there was a reset from Quinn Patrick's side. Not sure what that was for. Maybe put on the death necklace? I can't imagine what else he would reset for. Because there wasn't a starting throwable item or a starting gold chest, so... But yeah,
Aaron is doing what I believe. This is kind of the conclusion I've come to, is that at the beginning you simply start with a very long grind if you find a decent enemy,
Yeah.
and then you go to town.
And
The Druid Lord is also 3 digits of experience. Like Zone 1 is Zone 0. I mean, is pretty good for experience. So sitting here for a while until you know you're very powerful makes a lot of sense.
Aaron does need to make up some time in this race, but not much because of how close the first race was. But yeah, it's rough because I think, ironically, the best play in terms of the seed might have been actually to do what some people wondered and just equip the Death Necklace and hope a town is nearby. Because I think with the Death Necklace, you probably get through the Poltergeist, and there's really no other way at level 1 probably.
I'm not sure. Well, I think that kind of ruins it because you cannot heal. If we started with the armor, maybe it would make sense. But since we cannot heal, you could end up with just 1 HP and entirely stuck.
Yeah, I think it really depends on if there's a town nearby, but if there is, and we have seen, I thought we've seen one location that nobody's actually made it to yet, still, is we've seen the cave, and there was another location, I think, a bit more to the south, and then west. Looks like Quinn's finally gotten level 2, though. Not that it will avail him against the Metal Scorpion.
And it is 2 digits of experience, so... And Diabetes. The problem with the Poltergeist is that the Poltergeist hits like a noodle, but we know he has more than 5 HP. So
yeah,
that's gonna cost Diabetes some time.
Without crits, I don't know that it's even possible to get through the Poltergeist, because the Poltergeist does seem to be dealing consistent damage. It's not much, but it does seem to be dealing consistent damage, and I don't think it's like it even at level 2 or 3 or whatever level aaron2u2 took his first Poltergeist out. He was in the red, and it took like probably 10 plus swings, it felt like. Oh, Aaron survived a hurt more, so he knows at least something about his HP total. And he also now knows that this is Mountain Cave.
Not only did he survive a hurt more, but he survived without getting in the red, so probably pretty tanky. Has access to all of the spells, so there's a good chance he might be like in the double digit levels.
Yeah, certainly getting probably like, it depends, but like at least 100 a pop on 2 different enemies for a while in very fast will almost certainly lead to being a pretty solid level.
Both Diabetes and Zatrex are still trying on the Poltergeist.
Yeah, it's tough, but I just don't know that it's winnable without some sort of item.
I don't think it is. I think he had something close to 10 HP.
Like if the Poltergeist were also broken, it'd be, you could just RNG spam it. And
oh, there's a princess.
Get lucky.
We just saw the princess. The princess is in Mountain Cave.
Well, now, and was that, what was the, I assume the golem wasn't the guard. It went down pretty easy. But yeah, with good enemies in Zone 0, you can't imagine that's going to matter at all, really. Because I think there was a question earlier in chat, and to answer it very belatedly, there is no reason to rescue the princess for coordinates, because there are no coordinates, because there are no numbers, so...
Well, you could rescue her to get location that you are, which would be...
Sure, yeah.
Nothing dot nothing. So
not
very useful.
The main temptation would be potentially a grind. Obviously in Chaos that's not... Oh, and another reset, this time out of Zatrex. Like, I'm curious if Zatrex now and Quinn Patrick earlier are maybe trying some sort of RNG manipulation to try to find a good enemy or get a really good encounter RNG against a Poltergeist or something, because I can't think of too many other ways. but it's just rough.
The Diabetes, I think, is going to
Okay.
try and push exploration.
Oh, we have a location there. Is it going to be a town?
Nope,
No.
it's an empty stone cave. If you can find a place to buy a torch,
Yeah, no.
selling the death necklace to buy torches would absolutely be a move here at this point.
Yeah. Or if there's a
Because-
nearby town, again, equipping the death necklace and accepting the lower HP for a while just to be able to kill these things. Because with the like, there's so many avenues to get through this. They all require exploration, and it's kind of counterintuitive in this flag set, I feel, to actually explore.
And Aaron will choose to use the bunk to go back home. And yeah, we're seeing our players have, so we're 40 HP. Well, he was around at 50 HP when he started bunking.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be significantly higher than that, though, because of the hurt more survival, but it's just won't really know exactly where it is without like a full HP test. And honestly, I don't even know that at 2 damage a pop on a bonk. Like, I guess it's the same way as doing a swamp test. It's just with swamps you can also test while going through the swamp potentially to find a location. Feels a bit rougher to just sit in a location and bonk for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So Mountain's a complete dud. No key, no key item, no nothing.
Yeah, it's
And
not
Beatus
that
finally
surprising.
gets a kill for himself.
Ooh.
And the only players we have left right now that is not started in the seed is Zatrex, who doesn't seem to be able to find anything to start with.
Yeah. The thing you need to keep in mind is that while this looks really bad for Zatrex and also Diabetes, although obviously less bad for Diabetes now, this is Chaos. There's also going to be a blind dive of Sherlock, and the bonk damage isn't much, but you know, every little bit can help Sherlock. It's also like full diving Sherlock in Chaos can just be so rough. I don't know about you, but I've had seeds where like most of the seed was just Sherlock.
Yeah, well, what often happens is you're going to have very high agility enemies in Sherlock, and they will be very good at stopping you and sometimes having pretty awful abilities because the game is going to pick within the 10 most powerful enemy with average stats to put into Sherlock as possible enemies. So it can be a problem. The second thing that can be a problem in Chaos is Dragon Lord 1, who can often be the actual end boss. And in no numbers, to make it sane for players. Oh, there's the location that we hadn't seen.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
but it's
hard.
that's not going to be useful anytime soon.
So what I was saying is, what happens is when you get the Dragon Lord 2, you finally see numbers just to make it reasonable for players. But Dragon Lord 1, you don't see the numbers, and sometimes you're gonna get a Dragon Lord 1 that hits you for 90 and you don't know. So that's the kind of great equalizer that can happen.
Yeah.
In this flag set.
There's also the fact that there could just be like, there functionally is no higher cap as far as I know to Chaos mobs. I think it's logistically possible for an enemy to just end up max and everything. It just never happens. So like technically the spike tile could just be harder than literally any Chaos DL1 is, and it's just sitting there and you have to beat it.
Oh, that's fun. Aaron gets toasted to death by a stone man. Would think it would be DL2. Oh, that was a lot of experience for the next level. I believe that was 4 numbers of experience for the next level for Aaron. So at that point, I don't know if you continue fighting enemies or if you just go about but I don't think his HP is above 100. So I think you have,
Yeah.
no matter what, you have to keep killing and try to catch people, monsters that have at
yeah.
least 2 digits of experience.
Yeah, generally I think in this sort of situation, knowing how far it is, you just explore. And honestly, I don't know that I think I maybe just narrow it down to triple digits, because double digits could just be 10 experience, and it could be like a 2-swing fight, and that's legitimately awful if you're going for that over time. So I think maybe you just narrow it down to triple digits, mark every enemy off on your sheet that has triple digits, and just only fight them or things you don't know about.
It's been 20 minutes now or so, and Zatrex is still unable to find and kill a noodle. Does try the death necklace. I don't think the death necklace is not going to work out, and we know why, because there's no town close. There's really no. Have we seen a town yet? I don't think we've seen. Oh, we might here. There's Aaron with a location.
I mean, there can't be too many more caves, right? Right? There can be. Well, and in fact, there is.
The jerk here.
Yeah, I think I would have explored around a bit before actually putting it on, but I definitely don't blame Zatrex for trying this. The thing is, it's just going to be rough in chaos, because there are always going to be things that can just end you no matter what. Oh, there's another location over here. Will it finally be our town? It will be. Yes. It is Garenham. And the first shop is going to actually be a useful shop, potentially. Oh, some good items there, but probably doesn't have the money, and obviously gold grinding in this flag set is kind of annoying.
It is. The way I used to do it is simply calculate 500 gold per chest, just to be sure. And if you grab a couple more. Ooh, the keys might be very important. And it allows him to go check what is going on in the back of Garenham.
Also, it allows him to go back to Tangel whenever he dies or wants to, which is important because I think there were 5. Were there 5 or was it 4? I think there were maybe 5 chests in the front of Tangel, never mind what might have been in the back, or in the back down the stairs.
I love this room. With invisible NPCs. It's always
at least you can make them go away.
And in the back here is going to be, I am guessing, that's Tablet. So Grave is the only cave that's remaining that we haven't seen yet.
I think we haven't seen Swamp Cave, or have we?
No, you're right. We haven't seen Swamp yet.
Yeah, there's still... So there's 2 chests in here. Pinnacle of 3, but obviously they have to be somewhere. Not many. Ooh, a big item there.
Token, right?
Yeah, that was token. So that's one of the 3 items you need to be able to get into the Dragon Lord's castle. And that's a second of the 3 items, the Stones of Sunlight. So exceedingly required Garenham.
During that time, Diabeetus is working towards his mountain cave disappointment. And Zatrex gets a kill. I believe it was his first kill. No, it's not his first kill. Yeah, he actually was killing for a little bit. He just got hurt more. But
still, Zatrex almost certainly feels behind, and is, but again, like, so much can change. That said, getting to Garenham and finding keys would certainly help any of our racers, probably.
So Aaron chose to not die in Tablet and go home to check the chest. He's going to push explorations from where he is, probably to finish as much map as possible, which makes a lot of sense. You're likely to find all locations fairly quickly since this is a small map.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's really any wrong answer in particular, but there's also the fact that in Chaos, like, it can be very hard to die without sitting there for a while bonking. Or it can be very easy. So why bother trying? Just let the game tell you what it wants you to do.
Gives up on the Rate Knight. And Diabetes also has a problem with a Rate Knight here.
I think he's full cleared Mountain Cave, so I imagine this is almost certainly just an intentional death.
Was that Rate Knight the enemy in front of the princess?
Maybe. It did certainly have a fair bit of stats, seemingly. Oh, we have Swamp Cave here on Aaron's side. I believe that was just pretty far to the west, or east, past even Garanham.
Well, the advantage here is that it's going to be very quick to check the middle chest location, since there's not going to be an enemy there.
We also, I think, have Garanham now on Quinpatrick's side, so that's going to be big for there.
Okay, the fun thing here is enemies also give random amounts of gold, so you don't know how much money exactly you got when you get to Garanham.
You basically just have to try buying something and see what it says, which means you also really need to make sure you click on the right thing.
So now we have confirmation that Grave is behind Tentagel. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. That would be all the locations. So yeah, Grave is 100% behind there. Also, I don't think there were any chests in Swamp. And there was only one in Garanham proper. So I think there's going to be quite a few probably in Grave, but obviously they could also be in Sharlock itself.
Yep, if the armor is in Sharlock, that is always fun to explore.
Yeah.
As there's a lot of spots in Sharlock that we usually don't explore when you do the direct dive to the Dragon Lord.
But there's really no reason to check some of these places that have chests in them now. The other thing I'll note, we haven't seen a cursed belt yet, I don't think. And if not, that's given the chest we found, it's raising the chances potentially for Sharlock to have gear in it.
Or even just the treasury in Tentagel is still outstanding.
Which, if Sword is in treasury, I imagine aaron2u2 kind of wishes he had it already, but he will be returning now to find out, potentially, or no, skips it again. Oh, I think he just realized.
Yep, there he goes. We're going to get a view of the treasury.
Because, yeah, he did end up running out of MP during his exploration. So.
And Quinn is going to do the same here, except he's going to use the face plant in the end of tablet method.
There are no good ways to get out of tablet aside from resetting, but bonking to death, even at 2 HP, is about as good as it gets. So we have our first coinciding checks of Tentagel Treasury. First is a Tort. Then the Flute, which you can throw away at least. Oh, there's a Cursed Belt. An extra key. And finally a Fairy Water, which would have been so nice to have at the beginning of the seed for some of our racers. Oh, I didn't see that.
That treasury is not amazing. So Diabetes has the armor in coal, and there is one chest also in coal. I don't think anybody's explored in that direction, although Diabetes does not have keys yet. He has not found Garanham, so cannot check the chest in coal. But there's at least one ground location with something.
Yeah, we now, just after finding out one search spot had to be in play and only 2 can be in play, we find out one definitely was in play in terms of armor, which now Zatrex has as well, which is going to be very nice for both Zatrex and Diabetes, because they kind of need a pick-me-up in terms of getting back into the race a bit better, and finding armor certainly is one of them.
Yeah, both players have had a rougher start, so finding the armor first can give them a chance to catch back. Also, Zatrex gets himself a large shield and a hand axe, so that's going to be a start. Grave, nothing really consequential in Grave.
Yeah, I didn't see much aside from the gold chest, which is nice, I guess.
And so Aaron is going to dive. Whereas Quinn Patrick actually has set up a gold grind, so he's going to be able to get all of the gold he needs. Silver Shield can be fun. Like putting up Repel for Sharlock is... It can save you an enormous amount of time. There's a lot of high agility enemies.
Yeah, I feel like high agility enemies are one of the reasons why in more than any other flag set, I love Silver Shield in this flag set the most, because it's just, if you can avoid an enemy that has like 200 HP, 100 agility, and no strength, and it's just there to annoy you for 5 minutes in Sharlock total, it's so nice.
So the Harp is in Hawksness, and the Red Slime in Hawksness gives 3 digits of experience.
Ooh.
So Diabeetus is finding a lot of important stuff. So as soon as he gets his hands on Garanum, he's going to be kind of in a decent position.
Yeah, like all he needs is Garanham, and he's got everything but sword. And we've seen both trading caves, so the only unfortunate thing for him is obviously Garanham was a lot closer to home, and instead he's going to be finding locations like Caitlin here that at best can have sword. Obviously that's great if they do, but the odds aren't great.
Oh yeah, this shopkeeper is really fun.
Yeah,
and invisible.
If I imagine if Diabeetus had keys,
he moved.
I imagine if Diabeetus had keys, he wouldn't even be trying this anymore. This is
keeps moving. Oh no.
The good news for Diabeetus is the only things he needs left aside from sword are in a town that has keys. So if that was keys, it doesn't actually hurt him much, and he finds keys anyway.
He finds keys. All right.
No, I don't think Diabeetus killed the NPC. He just couldn't find it. I don't think he ever actually managed to talk to it.
At the same time, and you turn around and you try to talk to him, he's not going to be there. So Grave is entirely empty. We're running out of places to look at. I believe what's left is the extra chest in Coal. I don't think there was a chest in Breckenary. There's no extra chest in Cantlin. This is starting to look like the sword is in Sharlock.
There's probably only that one single chest difference to potentially not make it in Sharlock, which does put Diabeetus and Zatrex in a potentially good position. Although, oh no, actually having keys here for Diabeetus might actually be really bad, because all he needs to do actually is find Garanham and go back to Cole, and he's checked literally everything. But now that he has keys, he doesn't necessarily need to find Garanham to get them anymore. So there's a potential there for him to go into Gat Tangential, check Deep Grave, do all these other checks that actually won't avail him at all now. So keys actually, for once, is kind of a bad thing.
Well, since the sword is in Sharlock, I'm betting most of our players are going to be at least check all of the locations before entering Sharlock.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, if you're in a situation like Quinn, if Quinn finds a flame sword, he might just elect to give it a shot with flame sword, and it might be enough.
Yeah, he might. It's obviously rough when you can't even know what your strength is before going into Sharlock in the first place. Because that's not only the only way to check your level and your HP and MP for certain. It's also the only real way to get a really good idea of your strength is to go to the Dragon Lord 2 fight and swing at it and see what your range is.
Aaron, however, now is in the right location. He just found Cole.
Yeah, we're gonna probably get information on, oh, we also have information on Breckenary because Diabetes is going back there. There were 2 chests in there, so we're going to see that, and we're probably going to see the coal chest right after that as well. So after these checks, we will know exactly where Sword is. The racers might not, though. It's not in Breckenary.
Ooh, you returned before checking coal, I believe.
And he didn't go back into Tanagel, which, unknown to him, is actually really good, although he may just be going back down here to trade in real quick. But obviously, if he finds Garenham first, that's massive in a way that he doesn't know about yet. Has Aaron2u2 still not seen the chest yet? Here it is.
Oh, he's been bonking into every NPC possible.
That's the invisible NPC experience. So Sword is in Sharlock, I think.
Yep, that's all of the locations have been checked by our players. The Sword is in Sharlock, which that leads to an interesting decision. Now, Quinn is the only one that has set up a gold grind here and might be in a position to purchase a flame sword. I don't think he's died since he's done the gold grind.
I think Diabetes was in Caitlin and saw that there were no chests, because I know there definitely wasn't in the lower left, and I don't think there was at the end. So I don't think Caitlin can bail them out, which is actually really interesting, because having to get into Sharlock and potentially full clear a bunch of chests from it in Chaos can be very RNG heavy as well.
Aaron doesn't have a lot to check left, I believe. Once he's done with Cantlin, he's going to be done checking every location.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Diabetes, he is doing what will end up being a little bit of a trap and checking Deep Grave. Obviously, there is no way to know that. Like, I think it's honestly the correct play to check Deep Grave, because you can't count on Garenham having items, but it's going to be a whole lot of nothing. Meanwhile, Zatrex finding Garenham, and he's actually in the position Diabetes maybe wanted to be in. He didn't have a key, so he hasn't been able to check anything aside from that. That said, he doesn't have Harp yet, because he got to the same area as Diabetes, but I don't know why maybe he didn't check the spike tile. Or maybe you just didn't see it. I don't remember how close the 2 locations were.
Aaron had a rough fight against the Red Slime and gets his harp. So Aaron has collected everything on the map.
Yeah, it's just a matter of where Aaron wants to grind. You did just see a triple-digit enemy here, but it was a bit rough to take on, and that has decided made the decision not to grind there for him. Looks like he's still looking around for a bit. Oh, I guess he maybe hasn't seen Sharlock. I don't know that has anyone seen Sharlock?
He has. It is a little bit, it's kind of a ways south of Garenham. But yeah, that's the last location he needed. That was Cantlin, and
oh, yeah,
now
Cantlin.
Aaron has seen everything.
Technically, he had seen everything because Cantlin has nothing in there, but obviously you can't know that going in before you see it.
And now he knows.
Going to grab a key fund here, and that'll help him out pretty nicely, but Aaron2u2 is basically set to just get experience and dive, or if he feels confident now, just dive now.
Zatrex just got his token and stones from Garenham. So right now, Aaron, I believe, has a significant lead of about the distance it was at the start from getting a noodle kill a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Yeah.
Diabetes went through Grave kind of quickly and has a lot of good information. The only thing he needs to find is Garanum, and he's going to go in the right direction. There's like no other direction really for him to explore. And once he found Garanum and I'm sorry, Sherlock, then he's got full exploration as well. And so far, I don't think we've seen an enemy that was absurdly powerful. I think the most powerful we found was the red slime that's in Hawksness. So I think it's going to come up to what kind of Dragon Lord 1 we got.
Yeah, there could still be some hidden enemies, and there could be enemies that just haven't revealed how bad they are, but obviously, right now, everything looks relatively nice and gentle for a Chaos Seed. I think it'll be DL1, DL2 difficulty, and then also the spike tile difficulty, because even if something isn't dangerous, it can be a really bad fight. For instance, if there's an enemy on the spike tile that, say, has really high agility, no strength, hurt more resistance, and high HP, it's not a dangerous fight, but it can cost you, say, 4 or 5 hurt mores, potentially.
There's also the decision. Quinn Patrick might actually go for Flame Sword. The sword is likely to be on the bottom floor of Sherlock, but not guaranteed. So there is a game here where you can either gamble that it's going to be in the bottom floor of Sherlock, or you can actually try and check every chest location in Sherlock to see if you can find it.
Yeah, the rub is, like, it's likely to be down there in terms of odds, but you're obviously going to see a lot of chests on the way down that some of them you won't even be able to get to on your path that could have the chest at any given moment.
So Aaron gets himself his drop.
So the first racer to be Sherlock ready, potentially, it's going to be an interesting decision point on when he decides to go in there. He may grind first. He does find... Actually, no. Had we seen Rim?
I don't think we had seen Rim. I think he's the first player in Rim.
There's no chest out front. There's still one potential chest in here. It's in this building that he's going into now once he gets around that NPC, and it is empty anyway.
Well, okay, so we were talking about the sword being in Sherlock this whole time.
Yeah.
And that's still valid, thankfully.
If it wasn't valid before, it still is valid now. So, I imagine Aaron2u2, I'd be curious if he just does a quick check of his MP total here, or if he just goes into Sherlock and finds out, because that's the other thing, you need to go into Sherlock anyway to get the sword, potentially. You don't need to do that early, but in Chaos, it may take multiple trips to get down and find things. It looks like Diabetes into Garanham finally. That'll give him the last 2 items he needs aside from sword. So it's just finding Hawksness and getting through the red slime for Quinn Patrick and Zatrex. And Aaron2u2 putting the drop down. Let's see what Sherlock is like.
Does not go to the right. Oh, and actually takes the decision that he's going to go check every chest location before he dives deep into Sherlock.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame that. Like, if you're go level right now, you want sword before you get down to the bottom level anyway. That's the other kind of hidden factor to this. So it kind of does, in some ways, make sense to just go find sword first.
Now, how many torches does he have? Because every time you leave the quote-unquote dungeon, you have to use another torch.
I think he's got at least 2, which is enough if he doesn't check bottom floor first in the vanilla route. I don't know that he has 3, in which case he maybe doesn't want to check bottom floor and then go potentially for stuff like. But honestly, the odds of it being in the singular check in Vanilla Sword, which may not even be active, is exceedingly low. So he's probably fine there anyway if he does it that way. But that is a danger if he does it that way.
I just mean I would probably use Radiant just for a bit of a quicker exploration here than using torches, just to be sure you're not missing a location.
Yeah, I think honestly, if your tracking method is good, you don't need Radiant to not miss a location. The one advantage to it is that you can sometimes see through a wall. Oh, that chest is
yes,
there.
Exactly.
For instance, the Hourglass is a really good example. You can see the Hourglass chests, at least one of them, before you even check that, if you want to, with Radiant. Obviously, that isn't a long check in itself, but you know there are various places like that where you can functionally just know ahead of time. And the big one is, of course, Vanilla Sword. Like, you see that 100% on the way down to the diamond floor if you have Radiant on.
Well, so right side was moot. One chest, just an herb.
Yeah, that is not helpful, but he hasn't used any resources really so far. So far, like, the opening floors seem... The opening zone, I should say, seems very... not that dangerous. I think the Wraith Knight is kind of annoying and potentially a little bit dangerous, but not seemingly having enough agility to stop you, so...
I think the Wraith Knight was only hitting him for 1 digit at this point, so I think it's pretty safe. I don't think there's anything in Zone 1, at least, that's really dangerous for our players.
Which, if you're Aaron, that actually can be a bit of useful kind of meta-ish information. If the Wraith Knight is in here, it has to be one of the top 10 enemies. If the Wraith Knight isn't hitting you for much and isn't run blocking you that much, Sharlock might be just kind of full of kind of chump enemies. It could just be, because that's something Chaos can do, it can have a bunch of hard enemies everywhere in the seed, but it can also have no hard enemies in a seed. The Hourglass floor was a bust as well, so it is somewhere into the vanilla path of Sharlock. And the other thing Chad is noting, and it is useful to pay attention to, is like some of these enemies in here are also worth experience. So aaron2u2, even if he doesn't go now, could be go by the time he gets out of Sharlock. And this is going to be a Radiant use here.
You certainly want to try the Dragon Lord, even if you don't get to the bottom with full MP. You really want to know what you're going to need.
You absolutely have to find out. Like, you obviously have a pretty good idea at this point, probably, in some capacity, where your HP and MP are. But you don't actually know where your strength is. You don't have a clue in Chaos. You literally can't. It could be you're hitting for a bunch, you're seeing like very few single digits, and you're like, oh, I'm comfy. But nothing has any agility. So you really have to get down there and take some swings against DL2 and find out. Never mind just finding out if DL1 is going to be a roadblock. So there is nothing in Judge's table. So it is either on the bottom floor or on one of a couple... I think there's the Nexus floor, that's the choice floor. And then there's, I think, the Nexus floor that he was just on, and then the some of the squirrely floors, the Infinifloor and the Spiral floor.
Yeah, that's correct. So first one is not it.
So that's one of the 2 Nexus chests down. Diabetes catching up on exploration and also finding out about Rim. So those 2 racers are good and, well, he is now good and ready to go, as Aaron is. Zatrex and Quinpatrick still need to, at the very least, turn in Harp for staff. And this chest on the other Nexus floor is Sword.
Sword, there we go. So that is everything for Aaron. Will not have to check the Spiral, will not have to check the Infinity floor, which is not Infinity in this flag set. It's just going to be one chest at the end.
So this is looking very good for aaron2u2. He hasn't seen anything dangerous yet. That Metal Slime does run block him, but deals single digits. Again, we haven't seen too much dangerous in the entire seed, and especially not in Sharlock. It's gonna really just depend on Dragon Lord 1, I feel. And obviously some of it will also depend on luck, because if you get back attack slept, or fail a stop spell or two, even if they're not that hard, DL1 or DL2 can take you down very easily.
Yep. I think the only dangerous enemy, quote unquote, we've seen was the Stone Man, because he had DL2, and that's the only DL2 we've seen this entire seed.
And we haven't seen him in Sharlock yet, although he could still be on the Spike Tile. Because I don't think we've seen him in Sharlock yet.
Warlock getting a couple double digits hits in.
But not taking him down into the red, which means probably not that worrisome at all. And the Spike Tile is going to be the red slime. Shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Might be long.
So,
that's the only problem. The red
Yeah.
slime has a few hurt mores worth of health, so it's gonna have to bunk him for a while.
yeah, if there is a roadblock, it's sitting at the throne. Which is good for aaron2u2, as mentioned at the start of the seed. To mention again, the Winter League is decided basically by best combined time. aaron2u2 is currently more than ahead in this seed by what he was behind for in the previous seed, which I believe was about 20 seconds. So,
Ooh, Dragon Lord gets him in the
okay.
red in one hit. Oh, that could
is
be
the roadblock.
bad.
Now, he didn't heal immediately after the one encounter with the enemy that dealt some damage to him. So it might not be quite as bad as it seems. Although, no, he did. He used herbs. This could be bad, depending on the Dragon Lord's. Now, the good thing is you're actually hitting the Dragon Lord. You're not doing single digits, which is possible to the Dragon Lord too. And it's also using quite a bit of hurt more. So he does get through it. We're going to find out the level and HP total soon.
Ooh, it starts with sleep, actually. So
Although-
we might not see anything. Okay.
Well, we saw that, but we might not see... Oh, last second waken. Now, there's the problem is you have to heal here, but then he gets slept again. And now he's got to hope for another quick wake up. Still in... Okay, now he's in death range. And he's still asleep. That's almost certainly a death.
Goodness, that was absolutely awful. Gets slept twice immediately and has to go back. As information though, that he is almost guaranteed to win against the Dragon Lord. Now, we don't know what level Diabetes is. Is Diabetes also level 19? But...
This is absolutely huge for Diabetes. Although Diabetes doesn't have the sword on his tracker. Did he pick up the sword while no one was looking? Because if he doesn't have the sword, this could still be very bad for him. But he's not checking anything down here, so I have to imagine he has the sword. Plus, it was on the way here. Yeah, I think he almost certainly has the sword. It's looking very good for Diabetes, and Diabetes was the winner for the first race. So if he wins here, it's over academically.
That would be correct, since there was only like 20 seconds difference between the two players.
It's really just going to come down to the DL1 fight, and then does he get Stop Spell off in time? Because if you get Stop Spell off in time on a DL2 that casted a bunch, and that one seemed to, DL2 is almost certainly always going to be free, because anytime it Stop Spells, it's just giving you a turn, or sleeps, it's just giving you a turn. The danger here is that he isn't in the red yet. If he gets...
Yep.
That's what I was going to say. If he gets hit by max swing, oh, that is unlucky. There's no real way you have to heal there. You could play it a bit carefully, and maybe you do if you're in this situation, because you're in a situation where you think you can win it all right there, but you can't know that going into the fight. That's just so unlucky. But now at the very least, Diabetes does know that the Dragon Lord 2 is going to hit hard, or the Dragon Lord 1 is going to hit hard, and that you have to, even if you aren't in the red, potentially heal after a swing or two of it.
I don't know if Aaron's going to kill the red dragons on the way down. No, he decides to run away.
Yeah, I think he did only have 8 heal mores remaining, and he didn't. The other thing to keep in mind is aaron2u2 still doesn't know his strength. We still don't know their strength except for the brief flash that was on there, but I wasn't paying attention because I don't want to. I think the stats were briefly on display after aaron2u2 got in the fight, but technically you don't know if you can really deal noticeable damage to DL2 yet, still, because nobody has gotten a swing off on DL2.
Chance would have it that yes, because it's very, very rare at level 19 that you do not have the strength to deal damage to the Dragon Lord. The thing is, MP's not that amazing. At least from what we've seen. So if we have a 230 health Dragon Lord, although I think at this point it's fair to say Dragon Lord is most likely 50% sleep, so...
Yeah. Really, it comes down to if you can damage it sufficiently. If you can damage it sufficiently, it's really not going to matter how much HP it has, because it's going to be casting sleep and failing, hopefully, if you stockpile it a bunch. So it should be fine as long as he's got enough to actually deal, probably Fairy Water-ish. Actually, honestly, I think you can probably do it with 10, even at 9 heal more, at 8 heal mores, I think is what he ended up with the last time when he got into the fight. But 8 heal mores should be fine, even if you're dealing 10 damage a pop, if you can get the stop spell off quickly.
Back to the bottom floor for Aaron, while Diabetes is... Is Diabetes grinding? Oh, that's a mistake, I believe, to be grinding here for Diabetes.
To be fair, we don't even know Diabetes' level or what he thinks his level is, because he never got into DL2 fight. It could be Diabetes is actually level 15 instead of level 19 and actually does need it. I don't think so, though, because he took 2 melees and a hurt more, it felt like, from DL1 and wasn't in the red. So it feels like he probably is level 19, level 18, somewhere in that range, and is good to go, and he just doesn't know it.
Right, unless when he died, he noticed that the Dragon Lord told him the next level is at 3 digits of experience.
True. If he sees that it's close, it makes absolute sense to just get it just in case. But it definitely is costing him to the point where he will... I mean, obviously he would have needed another death from aaron2u2 anyway. That said, right now, if aaron2u2 dies, Quinn-Patrick is potentially in the winners in the driver's seat, because Quinn-Patrick is now in a Sherlock. Or, oh no, Zatrex is too. Okay. This is really interesting, because if aaron2u2 doesn't win here... Oh no, wait, no, okay. Zatrex wasn't. He was just in another cave that is dark. But he is going in now. So aaron2u2 maybe needs to win here if Quinn-Patrick or Zatrex do. But we don't know the situation, really. Because just DL2 having sleep is just that much of a confusing thing. The other danger, potentially, is you don't know what your HP is going to be getting into DL2 fight.
Well, it should be full HP here. You just used Heal More just before the Dragon Lord used Hurt More. 138 and 98 MP, so the stats are amazing. Gets the stop spell in. And now Aaron is in fantastic shape to even defeat a 230 HP Dragon Lord. 16 damage. The strength is there.
Barring a miss menu, this is now over. Although Dragon Lord 2 is suddenly forgetting that it has sleep, which is the usual way it goes in these situations, but there's another sleep.
Oh, there we go. Now, at this point, I think it's confirmation. We're at 50% sleep.
Yeah, now the sleeps have started flowing in. There's basically nothing that can stop him. He's almost certainly dealt close-ish to 100 HP in damage, and he's still got most of his heal mores left. There's no stopping this.
20 damage, so the strength is at probably exactly 140. And the Dragon Lord is down. Everybody, GG's in the chat for the winner of the 2026 Winter League, Aaron. Can't say numbers today.
I think we've broken that rule quite a few times, but yeah, he was only a handful of seconds behind Diabetes, and this is thus just unbeatable lead for anyone. So he will be the winner of this race and the overall Winter League.
So that's a second win for the tournament.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's his second title, so a nice extra bit of hardware. Oh yeah, Brian Williams noting in chat, now aaron2u2 is counting 30 seconds because he doesn't know the situation yet. And now we have Quinn Patrick at DL2, DL1 I should say. Zatrex not far behind. That said, it could go very badly very quickly, and Zatrex also doesn't have sword yet. Must have skipped all the chests on the way down.
Quinn misses the first stop spell.
And is probably in danger of dying here if he gets meleeed really hard. Doesn't quite manage to melee hard enough Dragon Lord 1 to kill him. And now Quinn gets the stop spell off. Does feel like it'll be... Although every time he swings, like, again, it's one of those things that you can't know, but every time you swing after you've been dealt some damage, you're in danger potentially. But we'll get through it. And is it a bad situation
41.
here? Because he was in danger, which means he has to heal more here, which means he can be slept, and he is slept.
Ooh, only 97 HP at level 17. That is... yeah, that's not going to be... He gets sent back.
I mean, technically, if he can still deal damage to... and he had the Death Necklace on. If he can still deal damage to DL2, which he obviously could have in that situation, like, as long as you get the stop spell off, you can just hopefully get not too unlucky. But yeah, that was just the Death Necklace really cost him there. I'm surprised he didn't remove it ahead of time. Obviously, if you remove it, you lose it, so you can't get it back ever, unless you just restart the entire seed. So there is some danger to doing that if you need it, but it's just such a danger to go into Sherlock DL1 and DL2 with Death Necklace on. Oh, he put it on. Oh, that is so dangerous to put it on before DL1. So yeah, that was...
Did he check his HP beforehand as well?
I don't know that he did, because if he wasn't at, yeah, I can't imagine he did, or if he did, maybe he got the numbers a bit off.
And
Zatrex,
Diabetes
meanwhile,
comes back with knowledge. Zatrex is going to have to go through the entirety of Shell. It's kind of disappointing that he didn't catch the chest on the way with the sword.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think he basically decided to do the full stop. I am only checking the bottom floor first, and that's one of the dangers of it. Like, and now he's out of keys, and now he's going to outside and return, and he doesn't need keys to actually do anything. Oh, no, he decides not to. Oh, maybe because he couldn't outside. But yeah, all he needs to do, really, is just go down the central staircase. But he doesn't know that, so now he's going to leave and get keys first. It's just...
Who beat us with a very dangerous stop spell here. Actually did not die this time.
Yeah, he's playing it a bit sketchy here.
I think now he understands. The Dragon Lord 1 has some meat on his bone. He actually can punch.
Honestly, we still don't even know the stats. It's entirely possible none of these swings are safe.
But he actually gets through him. Is he going to be able to get a stop spell on?
Oh, he's risking it. Oh, that's gonna be real bad potentially. He will luckily not get slept first thing. But the problem is, the more he doesn't see the, okay, here he goes. He thinks better of everything just in time.
And now he is going to be safe.
So yeah, it's absolutely, again, over for Diabetes' Dragon Lord 2 unless there's a mismenu. I don't think you can physically lose to a 50% Dragon Lord 2 fight with decent stats, and the stats are more than decent.
Yeah, he's got one more level than Aaron had. Aaron won at level 19, and Diabetes is at level 20.
And looks like we have aaron2u2 going to be joining the commentary booth soon, and in fact, soon as now. Welcome in, aaron2u2, and congratulations on the win for this race and for the tournament at large. I can call you aaron2u2 now, right? You won. You get your numbers back. That's how it works, right?
It does, and thank you. I don't know. I had no idea. Somebody suggested that I actually got out of the beginner jail faster than everyone else, which is surprising to me, but maybe not too surprising after all.
By about 5 minutes, yes. Zatrex took almost 20 minutes to get out of jail, and Diabetes is going to finish in second place. GG's in the chat for Diabetes. Yes, that was a very big difference at the start of the seed in that you managed to get the Star Wyvern pretty quickly, and a lot of your opponents kept trying on the Poltergeist, which turns out was not a noodle, had more than 5 HP.
Yeah, I also felt like you were the one who was seeing a bit more, like, sometimes it's just a bit RNG, where sometimes your enemies just don't see, your opponents just don't see the enemy that is the noodle, and it felt like just the Star Wyverns did not want to appear for a lot of people.
Well, I got dumped by the Rogue Scorpion, was just irate because I felt like that should have been it. But honestly, I saw the Star Wyvern because I wanted to figure out if that was a Mountain Cave was a town, because I was going to sell the Death Necklace if I could. I needed something to get going, and I hope that was it, and it was not. So that didn't matter, though. Yeah, it sounds like the experience, and yeah, the amount of three-digit experience enemies was insane. I think it was Drakey, Druin, Poltergeist, Skeleton, Wraith, Druin Lord, all 3 digits, and a whole lot of them were right near start. So I just threw up Repel because I felt like if I needed to get experience, I just go back to start whenever, and yeah, I didn't. So
yeah, the race ended up fairly close. Both you and Diabetes were within about 3 minutes of each other getting to the Dragon Lord for the first time. You end up getting slept and destroyed by the Dragon Lord, whereas Diabetes ended up getting meleeed by DL1 to death, and both of you went back. After that, Diabetes chose to actually grind an extra level before he went back in, whereas you went straight back in and actually got the win in, which was kind of the story of the end game here.
Yeah, I'm gonna love to see those DL1 stats, because at first I thought he was just gonna. I'm like, okay, we're dead because this guy's hitting enough to put me in the red in one shot, and then I realized I didn't really heal up super well, so maybe I was misjudging that, but I don't know. He used a lot of Hurt More for me the second time around, which helped. I felt like when I got hit twice and I didn't heal more, I was like, what are you doing, Aaron? You know, this guy's got sleep. DL2's got sleep. All you have to do is get through him. I mean, I had no idea what my attack power is, but considering how much he used sleep, I felt like if I had 105 attack power, I was going to win that fight.
Speaking of DiabeetusThe2nd, congratulations on your second place finish in this race, and second overall, I believe, in the tournament. Speaking of Dragon Lord 2 and meleeing to death, I think that was like, it was rough seeing the numbers from aaron2u2's side. How did it feel to get into the DL1 fight the first time and be in white HP after 2 swings and then just suddenly go from that to just dead instantly?
Yeah, thanks, and GG to Aaron. Congrats on taking down another trophy. I would say, I wasn't sure exactly what level I was at. It took me 7 centuries to get off of level 1, and that's where I feel like I was cooked before the race even really got going. I'm not sure how it went for everyone else, but it felt really bad on my side. But as for DL1, I did heal up actually between the Red Slime Spike Tile and the Dragon Lord, and I landed Stop Spell on the first try. He cast Hurt More. I poked at him a couple times. I thought it was double-digit damage, but as you said, I was still in the white. But then got bopped for enough to take me out of that. So I never actually saw red health on the first Dragon Lord fight, and I was like, well, then he's got a lot more attack power than I'm giving him credit for. Or I don't have a lot of HP. I didn't really have a good handle on what the stats were or what level I was at exactly. And I knew that there was a very easy, good grind at home, because that was really just an not want to say exploratory, but needing the sword, only having a broadsword, only having a small shield. It felt like it was just, get the sword, we'll take a look at the Dragon Lord, hopefully we'll see our numbers, we'll go from there. And if I'm super duper lucky, maybe I'll get a chance at DL2. And seeing how free it is very frustrating the way DL1 went.
If that can reassure you, Aaron also ended up dying to the Dragon Lord, except he died to Dragon Lord 2. We got back attacked, slept, woke up, healed, then slept again for 4 turns, and then had to go back. So Dragon Lord luck was kind of even for both of you.
It probably would have been nice to at least see the stats and where I was at, I think, the first time through, because if the stats were good enough, I mean, DL2 is only as, at least you'd have an idea of what numbers you're looking at. I mean, I guess he didn't really get any attacks in, so I wasn't sure what his attack power may have been, but even getting a hint of what your MP might be and HP might be, instead of being completely blind still, I ended up taking, 3 more levels on the Drakeys just outside of Tanthagil, so it certainly doesn't probably make up the 6 minutes difference. I don't know how exactly we were paired where we died to Dragon Lord, but it surely would have closed the gap.
Ooh, Quinn Patrick gets toasted by the Dragon Lord and dies. And Zatrex just woke up, gets slept again.
Almost certainly gonna need to heal more right out of this too. But does finally get a melee, so has a chance to get some stop spell attempts in. And
there
gets it.
It is.
Could be free now. And it looks like Quinn Patrick has decided to DNF, which is, there's no shame in that at all. This is, chaos is always just one of those things where sometimes you just don't even want to finish even if the race isn't over yet.
But if you're wondering, Diabetes, there was about a 5-minute lead for Aaron between the moment he got his first kill and the moment you got your first kill.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was just really frustrating because I don't know what my percentages were on the Poltergeist and the Rogue Scorpion. I think at one point I was like, it's like I got nothing else to do other than mash A. It's like I'll start counting. I think the best fight I had was maybe 2 for 8 or 2 for 9 on one of them, until I think it was like the 10th or 11th Rogue Scorpion or Poltergeist that I finally took down. So I mean, it just felt bad that entire first 15 minutes, getting into Mountain Cave once in like the first minute and a half, and then not again for like 15 minutes, dying multiple times right outside of what turned out to be, Staff Cave, and then same thing out of Stone's Cave. So it just took a long time.
So GG's to Zatrex, who is going to be our 3rd place finisher, gets the bronze medal in the 2026 Winter League. GG in the chat. By the way, Diabetes, no, the Poltergeist was not a noodle. He had 25 HP, which is a trap you, Quinn, and Zatrex ended up getting stuck in a few times.
Yeah, I mean, when you're not getting hit for anything above double digits, because I mean, you can't see the numbers obviously, but at least having an idea that, being attacked 10 times and it always being single digits, it's a good chance that it may be, but there's no real way to know.
Wait, so what's the noodle? What's the noodle?
Rogue Scorpion and Star Wyvern.
So yeah, welcome.
Yeah, what did it take me?
Patrick and Zatrex.
What did it take me? 15 minutes to kill one of those Rogue Scorpions. I was Okay, I want to like challenge you guys. Is there a single thing you can think of that could have gone wrong for me in that seed that didn't? Like, it was pretty much every gamble that I took, and even the things that weren't gambles, was just a complete disaster.
Yeah, you went back immediately to Tantagel to dive grave and then find nothing. Took you a while to get coal since you explored the Garanum direction first. Died to the Dragon Lord a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, with the RNG I was getting, there was no sequence of inputs that would have led to me beating the Dragon Lord. It was completely, like the game had already decided that I was going to lose.
If that can reassure you, that was everyone. Everyone got popped by the Dragon Lord.
Death necklace to be funny, and obviously it would have been better if I didn't put on the death necklace. But like the first time I got slept and killed in 3 hits, and then the second time at level 19, he back attacked me and killed me. After DL1, I stop spelled him in 2 attempts. The first stop spell didn't work, and after I stopped spell, he didn't cast Hurt More a single time, so I had to use like 4 heal mores. I was like, surely I can't use any more heal mores because I must be almost out. I mean, it was just like no part of that seed went well for me, not a single thing. And like last time, everyone was going like, oh, you know, anything can happen, you could still win. And like, well, yeah, anything can happen, but usually when things happen, they happen to me. So,
well, just to point out, I got my first kill at about 14:50. So if you were at 15 minutes, you were only about 10 seconds behind me.
Yeah, you both got your first kill pretty much at the same time, and then Zatrex, which is our 3rd place finisher tonight, and has joined us, got his first kill at about 20 minutes in. So Zatrex, tell us how you feel after that start.
I mean, it went about as smoothly as it could from that first kill till the time I walked into Charlock.
Oh yeah, did you miss the sword on the first way down?
Yeah, so I was doing that thing where you just charge to the treasure room, and then if it doesn't work out, you just pop back to the top, and I completely forgot to grab that chest on my way down, and then of course I fumbled keys. So I had to go back to Rumaldar, and like, so I think that blunder probably took me from 2nd to 3rd.
Yeah, if you actually had managed to defeat the Dragon Lord in the first go, and I'm not sure you would have beaten Diabetes, but it would have been pretty close. I think it would have still been 3rd place since Diabetes had 6 minutes on you. But it would,
Did anybody else equip the death necklace to get out of that start, or was that just me?
With no towns on the horizon, definitely not for me.
Did you like do anything? Because didn't you die and go back and have 1 HP and?
Well, I knew I needed to. Well, I thought that the poltergeist was the noodle, so
it was
I would equip the death necklace, and then if I didn't find one or whatever, I just reset and then re-equip it again. And eventually, I killed the poltergeist, got triple-digit experience, and then just rode that as far as I could. And I didn't die again for maybe at all. I did not die at all after that.
I was getting so unlucky trying to hit the Rogue Scorpion that I assumed that I must have hit the particular attack power where you only have a 1 in 3 chance to hit instead of 1 in 2. So I reset my game to not put on the Fighter's Ring. And I mean, it didn't help.
So he had 10 defense, so 5, 9? 9 divided by 2? No, you started as 5 strength, so you were not in the sour spot at 5 strength.
I mean, I obviously couldn't have possibly known, you know, because of not only no numbers, but also the fact that I couldn't see the enemy stats. So I could only guess that, you know, I had swung like 25 times and hit 4 of them, so...
Yeah, you were actually right, if that's the case, because it had 10 agility, so 5 defense and 5 starting strength. With the Fighter's Ring, 7, that's the 2-point range that puts it from 50% to like 1 in 3. So you were actually really smart to do that.
Wouldn't it be at 6?
Holy smoke.
Am I doing the math wrong?
Yeah, it's always 2 points. So because something about the rounding does something funny at that point. So yeah, that was I actually kind of thought that for the Rogue Scorpion the time I was trying to fight it, but then I don't know, like I said, I was trying to get to Mountain Cave, hoping it was a town that maybe through some combination of vendors I could sell the death necklace for fairy water or for a weapon or something, because I wasn't getting anywhere, and I ran into the Star Wyvern, who was not on that particular defense value. So
I also did a full gold grind, and guess what? There's no silver shield in the entire seed.
The gold
would have helped. But...
Yeah, I don't know. I completely, like, I don't think I saw a shop until like that I could buy anything that was worthwhile until like 35 minutes in or something. I think when I got to Cole, or maybe no, it was when I got to Garenham, because actually I think I saw Cole, or I saw Garenham first, that I actually bought some gear. No, that's right. I didn't see anything in Garenham. I said, screw Garenham, because its stuff sucked. And then I went all the way to Charlock. I think I warped back, and then I walked up to Cole again. So which I found the northern areas very late, and Rim was the last thing that I saw.
Also, could Charlock have possibly been a longer walk from the start?
Not
Could
easily.
you reach it without going through Swamp Cave? I know...
No, it was on an island.
That was insane, because you started at like the very western extreme of the map, had to go like way north, then way back south, then go to Swamp Cave, walk all the way through Swamp Cave, unless you wanted to use outside and waste MP that you needed for Charlock, and then walk a little further south, and finally you get there. And like I realized on my second arrival at Charlock that I didn't refill on herbs. But what would I have done to refill on herbs? Walk to Cantlin? I can't remember. Like maybe Breckenary had herbs, and that was a little closer. I'm pretty sure Garenham and Remolder didn't have them. And walking all the way around walking all the way around Remolder, I know Garenham didn't have them because it had gear and keys. Walking all the way around Remolder to the shop, even if that was a tool shop, which I don't think it was, would have taken almost as long as walking all the way to Cantlin. It was just like, yeah, I found myself with no options. Nothing I could do. I mean, that was like genuinely one of the most unfortunate seeds I've ever played.
I was feeling kind of similarly on the map. I was very surprised. It's pretty uncommon with small map size to have 2 continents, just because the map, a lot of times just isn't big enough for the second continent. It just doesn't work the way the map generation works. So to have a map of that size and have a second continent was pretty surprising. So you're right. It was a long walk. I'm just looking and comparing Aaron's walk to my walk. I mean, I have 25% more steps in than Aaron had in this one, 5,000 versus 4,000, and it looks like Zatrex is pretty close to me, but I'm not sure what Quinn may have had, because this one was something.
Well, I should get out of here. Congratulations, Aaron. You got me again. And thank you to all the Restream crew for this whole tournament. I'm feeling seriously ready to hand in my retirement, but maybe after a year I'll be ready to be hurt again. I don't know. I guess a less heartbreaking finals than 2024, but a far less enjoyable one.
I think Slamu had the right idea about like get out right before you do playoffs, because that's when the painful painful flag sets kick in.
I mean, that was of all my practice seeds and all my race seeds of this whole tournament, none of them even come close to that one in terms of badness. I mean, it obviously would have been better if I had known like what my numbers were, but And like, I guess it wouldn't have felt bad at all if I had just gotten the first strike on the Dragon Lord cast stop spell and it would have and landed it on my first try, and it would have been totally fine. But obviously that didn't happen.
Let me tell you, after
Also,
4 years of playoffs, every year I am ready to be hurt again. So
also, I went down the first basement of Sharlock with Radiant on, saw 3 chests in the inner part of that floor, thought surely the odds on play is that the sword is there. Hit outside, explored that whole area, found a load of garbage, had to walk all the way back to Garenham to heal. I mean, like, and I could have just walked through and I would have found it on my path, and it would have saved me, who knows, 2.5 minutes. I mean, as if I was gonna finish anyway. Anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you later.
GG's.
GG's, dude.
Yeah, GG Quinn. And I don't know. I feel I feel lucky, but I also don't feel lucky. It's very strange. It's hard to feel lucky when you get just stomped into the ground by DL2 the first time through. This is a flag set where it is kind of hard to win the first time, and this was just chaos nonsense. The no numbers part kind of didn't matter. I mean, it confused the beginning, it sounds like, for some of you guys, but it was just the fact that chaos decided to be kind of tricky today and screwed up the beginning, screwed up the end a little bit. But I don't know. I don't think you guys need to hear me talk about my luck.
You should not feel bad about it or feel lucky, because you actually did play very solid for the entirety of the tournament. It is a very deserved win, Aaron. So congratulations on this tournament. Any final words from our players?
I'm glad I don't have to play a flag set like this for 365 days.
I'll just say again, GG to Zatrex and Quinn on making it to the finals and kind of joining Aaron and I there. Congrats to Aaron on, like I said, taking down another Winter League crown. I agree. This was definitely not an instance of just getting lucky or something. I mean, when you have these seeds and these flag sets, luck is going to be involved no matter what you do at every, I mean, even standard flag sets like that. But particularly in these, it's about resiliency. It's about, adaptability and kind of figuring out what you need to do along the way. And sometimes the game pushes you into something. Sometimes you make the right call at the right time. So however it happened, congrats on that. Thanks as always to the cast and crew for tonight's race and for all of the races, speaking as an admin throughout the tournament this year. I know at times we had a little bit of difficulty getting people in places and stuff, but we really appreciate all of everyone's time and energy and effort to that regard. So kudos to all the volunteers. And last but not least, there will be, as is usual after these events, a survey and thing that go out to try to get some feedback from y'all about flags, about format, about other things, to see what we can do better and see what we want to do in the future. So thanks again, everybody.
Yeah, final words. I forgot to do this earlier, so if anyone remembers from the last time I won one of these, so I had to do it again. But yeah, thanks everyone. Mand and Ziggy, thank you guys for jumping in on comms. I know you guys, being out of the tournament and stuff and then getting drawn back in to do commentary is always kind of just how it goes, I suppose. Like, I remember doing commentary last year and being like, well, this isn't as fun as actually being in the race, until I watched the race, and then I was like, yeah, actually, this is fine. But sorry, Ziggy.
No, it was a lot of fun. Don't worry about it. Well, you have to remember that me and Man couldn't see much, really. Like, there was no NPCs, there was no player character, there was no numbers. So that's kind of easy to commentate when you can't see anything. It was kind of a pretty chill gig tonight, so.
a bit like watching a murder mystery on this side, and you know, I honestly prefer to watch invisible NPCs than to play it, so I'll take being here for this one.
Yeah, but thanks you guys. Thanks Velu V, probably the MVP of the tournament here. The amount of races that you restreamed, especially the vodcast, man. I'm always bowled over by how much people do, because I think restreaming out of everything is the most taxing and least rewarding of all of the different jobs. So big shout out to you, and thank you very much, Shahali. Always here. Shahali can't really say much because Twitch won't let her, but thank you so much, Shahali, and thank you to know what to type, who I am not familiar with at all, but in here for the finals, showing up big. So thank you all very much. And yeah, it was this second Winter League title is kind of crazy. Wasn't expecting much of anything this year, and I don't know. I got lucky to not get wrecked like pretty much all 4 of our finals commentators did at some point. That was something else that kind of came to my mind too. Is the worst beats of this tournament were probably, you know, Mand and Beta and Ziggy and whoever that other one was in that other race.
Don't worry, I know, speaking for myself and probably speaking for Beta, the anger fuels us.
Personally, I'm ready to play some standard at this point.
I was messing a little bit, see if anyone would remember Rye Guy, but yeah. Thank you all. I'll stop dropping now and let us move along here, but thank you all very much.
Well, that is going to be it for us tonight. On behalf of my colleague Mand, on the Shihali, and on the What to Type on the tracking, and on Velovi, thank you again this year for like so much restream. Velovi, our restreamer tonight. We are going to be raiding Nest Cardinality, also known as the Dragon Warrior. Thank you very much for this amazing 2026 tournament, and I hope we're going to see you for the summer tournament in a few months.